When Gen Z was much younger in the early 2000s, Michael Jackson was presented to us by the media as some sort of scary and weird and bizarre character that we shouldn't idolize. A person that the collective should just ignore and forget about. And then that narrative they were feeding us all these years fell apart after the release of the Michael movie. We realized that Michael Jackson wasn't strange. He was just misunderstood. We discovered that the media lied to us our entire lives about this man. And now we're just making up for lost time. Firstly, Michael has enamored us because for the first time in our lives, we're seeing a standard and a quality of performance we just simply do not get nowadays. Most musicians and artists of today, while talented, just do not have the same hunger and the same passion and the same intensity that Michael did. The majority of people who create music right now just get on the stage in front of a giant screen with a video playing behind them, use their body to create a viral clip on social media, they sing into the microphone for 2 hours, and then they leave. But when you go back and watch footage from any one of Michael's tours, you see a man who is leaving it all out on the stage. You see a man who isn't holding back to the point where he had absolutely nothing left to give by the end of the show. After every show. And when ticket prices are more expensive than they ever have been, hence the reason why Blue Dot Fever is running rampant, we don't see the point in spending our hard-earned money on seeing these artists live because we know we're not going to get our money's worth. Whereas Michael made for damn sure that you absolutely did, and then some. And that leads me to my second reason as to why we love him so much. Because he loved us. It wasn't fake. It wasn't performative. It wasn't an image that he forced so that people would like him more. It was genuinely who he was as a person. That was all real. He actually wanted to see the world become a better place. And he spent his entire life, no matter how awful the world was to him in return, trying to make that a reality. For example, Joe Jackson, Michael's father, came up with probably the scummiest idea imaginable when it was time to sell tickets for the Jacksons' victory tour. A tour Michael didn't even want to do, mind you. He should have toured by himself after the release of Thriller, but his family was struggling financially, so he did it for them. Anyways, Joe's bright idea was to basically have their fans gamble money for tickets. If you wanted to go to one of the Jacksons' shows, you had to buy a minimum of 4 tickets for $120 and send it to them as a money order. However, you weren't even guaranteed a ticket when you sent them $120 because it was a goddamn lottery system. Meaning if you sent them your money, you weren't guaranteed a ticket. You just paid for a chance of winning one. And Michael had no idea that any of this was going on. So when he found out that this is what their fans had to do, he was absolutely livid.
A lot of people are having trouble getting tickets. The other day I got a letter from a fan in Texas named LaDonna Jones. She'd been saving her money from odd jobs to buy tickets. But with the current tour system, she'd have to buy 4 tickets. And she couldn't afford that. So we've asked our promoter to work out a new way of distributing tickets, a way that no longer require a money order. I've asked our promoter to end the mail order ticket system as soon as possible so that no one will pay money unless they get a ticket.
But in today's industry, in 2026, nobody fights for us anymore. Harry Styles is happy to let his team charge $1,000 for seated tickets. And Madonna was annoyed when her fans complained about her outrageous ticket prices. Yet Michael made sure that his fans weren't scammed. And because he had a heart of gold that the entire music industry will never see again, even though he didn't want to do that victory tour and only did that tour for the sake of his family, he still donated every single penny he himself made from that tour to charity. That is how much he cared.
Finally, and most importantly, there's something else I am going to announce today. I want you to know that I've decided to donate all my money I make from the performance to charity.
So he not only fought for us, but he basically worked that entire tour for free by not pocketing a single dime made during those shows just to try and help the world. And Gen Z, because of how jaded we've become due to the increasing amount of greed that these celebrities possess in our current society, we are not used to seeing such a genuine display of selflessness and generosity. I mean, not only did he donate $500 million publicly, but he most likely donated so much more than that because he frequently donated his money anonymously because the attention is not what mattered to him in the slightest. And Gen Z has never seen something like that in a celebrity before. We didn't think that was possible because we've grown up in a world and a culture where celebrities and influencers will make an obscene amount of money and then get on the internet and flex it to us. That is what we know. We have also fallen in love with him because he makes such high vibrational music that we just aren't used to. As a generation, we do not get that from our current artists of today. Nowadays, our music is depressing. It's overly sexual. It's promiscuous. It can be sometimes degenerate. It's uninspired. And it's manufactured in a way where its sole purpose of existence is so that a 10-second snippet of the song can go viral on TikTok. But Michael's music was none of that, and it's feeding our soul. Gen Z has become obsessed with how positive his music is. We love his bright messages in songs like Wanna Be Startin' Something, where he says, lift your head up high and scream out to the world, I know I am someone, and let the truth unfurl. No one can hurt you now because you know what's true. Yes, I believe in me, so you believe in you. Who else is telling us to do that right now? Nobody. And Gen Z needs that now more than ever. Our future looks so incredibly uncertain. AI might take over the planet. Housing has become extremely unaffordable to the point where we might be forever renters. And war is constantly looming. And as all of this is happening, all we hear on the radio is about how much money that these artists are making. One of the most popular songs in the world right now, with over 1 billion streams, is a miserable song about heartbreak. And we hear this kind of stuff on the radio every single day when we're driving, or when we're walking in a mall, or when we're in a club. Because trust me, I've been clubbing plenty of times and I've heard that exact music in the clubs. When you're constantly exposed to music that's really only just the 1% flexing their riches and flexing their wealth in their songs, and gloomy songs written by dreary people singing about how hopeless love is, you're always going to feel those low vibrations. So when Gen Z hears Michael singing, that's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, then take a look at yourself and make a change. We feel empowered. We feel like we want to jump out of bed and create a better lives for ourselves and the people around us. We aren't getting that message from anyone else right now, and we're desperate for it. What other artist gathers people in huge major cities like this? Nobody. Michael created community, and he still does to this day. Also, not only did he have such a positive message within his music, he also made music for the collective betterment of everybody in the world. He made music about healing our planet and making it a better place for everyone, no matter where you live. He made music about taking care of our planet and our environment and our animals. He made music about a world free of prejudice and promoting harmony and equality for all races. He made music about the people of the world banding together and not fighting each other anymore, because that's what the elites of the world want us to do. And because of how tumultuous modern life is right now, those are the messages we need. People are so divided now more than they ever have been. And so all of our spirits are craving those Those exact messages that Michael spent entire years of his life preaching in his music. But it's not just that either. It's the fact that his music was high frequency. You could listen to him sing and you automatically feel healed and soothed and magical and cleansed. Do you see what I'm talking about? That is why Gen Z took him from 60 million monthly listeners at the beginning of this year to over 110 million. It only took us a month to do that. That is how powerful his impact still is. His music and who he is as a person is like a breath of fresh air to us. The reason that this movie is still selling out entirely, despite the fact that it's been over a month now, is because the way he lived his life is genuinely an inspiration. You want to follow in his footsteps because the way he viewed himself and the world was nothing short of beautiful. He stuck notes to his mirror that said, "I am so grateful that I am a magnet for miracles." He wrote affirmations to himself that said, "The quality of my life is the quality of my communication. Your worst nightmare is someone's greatest dream. Nothing in life has meaning except for the meaning you give it. When things aren't working, break your pattern, change your philosophy. Without resistance, there is no growth. A bodybuilder doesn't grow until he reaches the point of fatigue. Such is life. Repetition is the mother of skill. Thinking is the process of asking and answering questions yourself. If you want a better answer to life, ask better questions." He would tell himself to discipline those who hurt him, who targeted him every single day with love and not violence. Ever. Even though they were incredibly violent towards him, he still disciplined with love because that was the kind of person that Michael was. And there are still some people in this world who think that he's a bad man. He would repeat, "I'm beautiful and I'm determined with fire to move mountains in all I do. I'm molding my own world. The old me is behind. I will march ahead anew." And he would pour so much of himself into his music because he wrote, "I know the creator will go, but the work survives. That is why to escape death, I attempt to bind my soul to my work." And that is, again, why Gen Z is so starstruck by Michael. He believed in the power of manifestation and repeated affirmations to himself until they came true. Because he didn't underestimate the power of self-belief. And he believed that you can do anything that you want in this life and have anything that you want in this life if you just spoke it into existence and never stopped speaking it into existence. He was an incredible teacher, and you can feel those lessons in his music. Because in his song Keep the Faith on the Dangerous album, he says, "And you can say the words like you understand, but the power's in believing, so give yourself a chance. 'Cause you can climb the highest mountain and swim the deepest sea. All you need is the will to want it and a little self-esteem. So keep the faith. Don't let nobody turn you around. You gotta know when it's good to go get your dreams up off the ground." Do you see why Gen Z is so attracted to this music? We don't want to hear about how you get bitches. We don't want to hear about how you made $600,000 in a day. We don't want to hear about how you're heartbroken and you're miserable and you'll never believe in love again. That's what we want to hear. Michael proved to Gen Z that the power of manifestation and radical self-belief is the key to life. His affirmations were so incredibly strong because of how much he repeated them to himself, to the point where they were absolutely nothing but the truth. And he has proved that they work because the effects of them have lasted long after his passing. He has the #1 movie in the world. He has the #1 book in the world. And the #1 song in the world consecutively for 2 weeks. Michael has been gone for 17 years this month, and he's still dominating every single corner of the planet as if he never left. That was how powerful his manifestations were, and everybody should be following his way of life.
Country.
Yeah.
And we're going, how many eggs are there?
45.
How many?
45.
45.
Yeah.
We're looking for 45 eggs.
And they there'll be special prizes.
Do we get prizes?
Yeah. Well, I hope
A trip to Bermuda.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a
Ones
trip.
with the
You're
speakers are
we can stop.
A trip to Walt Disney World.
Let's
Ready?
stop now.
1, 2, 3, go.
Let's
Whoever finds the golden egg gets the biggest prize. Hello. I have no fortune. Nothing. Please, you know where they get me? Would you tell me, please? I want to win this game. Hey! Yes! My first egg. My first.
My 6th egg.
Oh my
Which
God.
is my 7th egg. Thank
See,
you.
there are egg eggs around here.
Hey!
Guys, they steal my eggs, please.
The host with the most. Michael?
Yeah.
He listened to his fans. He made high vibrational music. He wrote songs with lyrics that begged you to believe in yourself. He promoted the importance of manifestation and affirmations. He never let aging and growing older stop him from being silly and being youthful and having fun. And he revolutionized the music industry forever with his boundless creativity. We will never ever have another Michael Jackson ever again. He wasn't a once in a lifetime. He was the only one. There was no one like him before. There hasn't been anyone like him since. And there will never ever be anyone like him in the future. The media lied about him because they were too afraid of the power that his light had all across the world. He wasn't the devil that they made him out to be. He was an angel who wanted nothing more than to give love to the world and to help the most vulnerable members of our society. And they demonized him for it. He wanted to create a world that was better than the one that he was born into. And they didn't like that because they can't control us that way. They can't profit from us that way. Michael brings people together and they need to keep us divided. But Gen Z has got your back, Michael. And we hope you can feel the love. Before I end the video, I want to read you guys something that Michael himself wrote in his book, Dancing the Dream. So what does a star do after it quits shining, I ask myself. Maybe it dies. Oh no, a voice in my head says. A star can never die. It just turns into a smile and melts back into the cosmic music, the dance of life. I like that thought, the last one I have before my eyes close. With a smile, I melt back into the music myself. I don't know. It made me cry. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video and keep loving Michael.